Hey guys, Carrie from InvestHER Way. Do not become a victim of imposter syndrome. What do I mean by that? I'm gonna roll the credits and I will be back to share more with you. Hey guys, Carrie from InvestHER Way, and welcome to the InvestHER Way YouTube channel. Today, we are gonna be talking about imposter syndrome. Okay, dun dun dun. Imposter syndrome is a deadly disease that you do not want to fall victim to. Now, if you look up imposter syndrome in the medical dictionary, you will not find a definition for it because it is not a real disease. So take care. You are not going to get sick here. But imposter syndrome can kill you, literally, physically, and mentally. It can kill the success of your business if you fall victim to it. What is imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome means you feel you don't have enough value to give to the world, to give to your client, to give to your customer. And so you have this incongruent thought process, which is incongruent from what you are trying to accomplish. So let me tell you a quick story. When I first got started in real estate investing, I started out actually as a full-time physical therapist. That was my identity. I was a full-time physical therapist. You see, it's so funny. I can't even say it now. It's not part of my identity anymore. I immediately say I'm a full-time real estate investor because it's become a habit. It's become my identity. But back then, I wanted to start doing real estate investing. I was learning about it. I was marketing. I was out there talking to sellers, but I hadn't yet done my first deal yet. And so people would ask me, "Hi, Carrie, it's nice to meet you. What do you do for a living?" And I would say, "Oh, I'm actually a full-time physical therapist, but I'm investing in real estate." I was like dipping my toe into the real estate investing identity. And that's how I would always start it. "Oh, I'm actually a full-time, I almost went real estate investor again. I would say, I'm a full-time physical therapist and I'm investing in real estate as well." And people would be like, "Oh, that's so fascinating." And we'd get started on physical therapy and real estate investing. And I remember one day thinking, why don't I just tell people, at this point I wasn't even working, okay? I was doing real estate investing. We were like in the middle of our flip and we had wholesaled the deal and I was about ready to replace my income as a physical therapist. So I was no longer working as a physical therapist. And I remember someone said, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" And I stopped myself and I'm like, I am not going to tell people I am a full-time physical therapist anymore because that's not who I am. So I remember saying, "Oh, I'm actually a full-time real estate investor." And as I said it, I felt like a fraud. Like, why am I telling them I'm a full-time real estate investor? I've just done my first deal. Like, this isn't full-time. I'm not doing this full-time. I'm not making big money here. I'm not haven't yet replaced my income as a physical therapist. How can I tell someone I am a real estate investor and I buy and sell properties? And I remember when I went through my first coaching program as in real estate investing, our coach told us the first thing you have to have is an elevator speech. An elevator speech tells people what you do for a living, because if you're ever in an elevator and you've got 2 minutes to tell someone what you do for a living, and let's say they might be a motivated seller and you didn't know it, what would you tell them? How would you get them interested in what you do? So that's an elevator speech. So he had us come up with an elevator speech, and mine was, "Hi, I'm Carrie. I'm a real estate investor here in Central Florida. I buy and sell properties in all price ranges and all conditions. I buy as is and I close quickly. If you know of anyone who needs to sell their house, please give me a call." Like, that was my elevator speech. But I remember when I first started doing the elevator speech, I felt like I couldn't say I was a real estate investor. I had not yet embraced that identity. Even though I was out there investing in real estate, I had a hard time telling people I am a real estate investor or I own a real estate investment company. So here's what my elevator speech first started off. "Oh, I'm actually a full-time physical therapist, but I invest in real estate and I buy houses in all conditions and all price ranges in Central Florida, and I buy as is. If you have someone that you know that needs to sell their property, please give me a call." And they were like, "What?" you're a physical therapist and you're a real estate investor, but you buy properties, right? Like it wasn't a good elevator speech, but I felt good about saying, well, I'm holding on to that piece of me. That was my identity. And so I had very incongruent thoughts, and they were very incongruent with my actions, right? I wanted to be a real estate investor. I was out there actively investing in real estate, but thought-wise, I was telling myself, I can't do this. Who am I? I'm not a real estate investor. I don't have the money. I don't have the credit. I don't have the partnerships in place. I'm only 27 years old, and I've got a baby on my hip right now, and I'm still in mommy mode, and I was a physical therapist. That's what I went to school for. I'm not a real estate investor, but I want to be, and I want to tell people that I am, because that's the best form of marketing, is by word of mouth, just telling people what you do. And so I remember it took me years to finally gain that identity. Like I'm talking like, I think I was like 10 deals in by the time I told someone, oh, I'm a full-time real estate investor. And at that point I dropped the full-time or the physical therapist part. Now I can't even say it, right? Like habitually, I'm just used to saying I'm a real estate investor. But imposter syndrome is just that. It's feeling like you are an imposter, feeling like you're a fraud, feeling like you can't tell people that you invest in real estate because what if they find out that you've never invested in real estate or done a deal? Or what if they actually have a deal for you and they bring it to you and you don't know what to do with it? Like that's also success killer. Like I used to sabotage deals all the time because people would say, oh, I've got a deal, or I have a house to sell, and I'd be like, whoa. Like, I don't know if I can handle that deal, right? Even though I'm a full-time real estate investor, I probably should have told you I'm actually a full-time physical therapist trying to do real estate investing, right? So I fell victim to the imposter syndrome. And what happens when your thoughts are not congruent with your actions? When you have incongruent thoughts and incongruent actions, I'm going to bring you down to the whiteboard here. Okay, so it's like a wave. Okay, our thoughts are energy. Our thoughts are actually carry frequency. Okay, they've studied this. So when we have a thought, there is a frequency. It's an electrical impulse in our brain, and that thought looks like this. Okay, what happens if our actions are like this? Okay, we have this incongruent line. So this is our thoughts. Okay, this is my action. So my actions are out there marketing. They're out there talking to sellers. They're out there wanting to be a real estate investor. But my thoughts are up here saying, I don't know if you can do that, Carrie. I don't know if you're a real estate investor. You know, you're in this male-dominated industry. There's all these successful men out there. You're not making millions yet. You can, hardly afford your bills right now. You've never done a deal before. You rent a house right now. You don't even own a house. So how can you be a real estate investor? That's what the thoughts were going in my head. And so what happens when you have this incongruency? It's super weak. Okay, it creates this weak frequency because you've got one going this way and you've got one going that way and they're not matching up. But what happens when your thoughts are in congruence with your action? When your thoughts are like this and your actions are like this, you are going to start doing deals. You are going to step into that identity as a real estate investor and you are going to become it because now your thoughts are in line with your action. And I didn't realize this until I started taking a step back. I'd been doing real estate for a year. I didn't have any deals yet. I felt like a fraud because I was telling people that I was investing in real estate, yet I hadn't done my first deal yet. And I realized that I was having those incongruencies. And it wasn't until I got congruent with what I was doing and I really started practicing visualizing and I really started practicing meditation. I visualized myself having conversations with sellers. I visualized myself buying property after property after property. I visualized the finances in my bank account going up. And what happened? All of a sudden, I started doing deals, okay? Because all of a sudden, I was like, nothing is gonna stop me. All of a sudden, my actions became super clear. I was like moving forward because my thoughts were now in line with my actions. And when your thoughts are in line with your actions, nothing will stop you from getting what you want. So, if you do not feel like you are a real estate investor yet, You've got to get into your subconscious programming and rewire it. You have to visualize yourself as a real estate investor, because it doesn't matter if you're not a real estate investor yet on the outside in this material world. If you haven't done a deal yet, you can do deals all day long in your head, okay? And it creates the identity that you are a real estate investor. And any thoughts that go into your head, you can manifest out into the material world. So if you keep manifesting that you're doing deals, that you're a real estate investor, that you're creating the life that you want, and you're doing the things that matter most in this world, you're not going to a 9-to-5 job because you're out there making it rain in real estate, right? You will become successful. So do not fall victim to the imposter syndrome. Okay, because it will kill you. It will kill your success. It will kill your spirit. It will kill your soul if you allow it to go on for too long. That is it for today, you guys. If you or anyone you know has a house that they need to sell, please contact me. Or if you have a deal and you don't know what to do with it, I do joint venture with people. So give me a call. We can take a look at it together. And remember, you guys, you are only one deal away. I'll see you on the next video.